Hello guys, welcome back to SF Info YouTube channel, and this is our video number 6 on Java course. So if you are new here, SF Info is a YouTube channel for all those who are trying to learn new technologies every day. So please consider subscribing the channel and also click on the bell icon so you won't miss any of our videos. Iteration is statements or loops in Java. In programming, when we have to do something same for several number of times, we can use loops. In Java, we can use while loop, do while loop, for loop, and for each loop. Let's take an example. So I open Eclipse IDE and I will create a new class and create the main method too. Now suppose I need to print welcome string for 5 times. So if I copy this statement and print it 5 times, it works. I have welcome string 5 times. But doing this can make redundancy in the code. Therefore, we have to use a loop. So under any loop, I want to print this one 5 times. Okay, so we can use while loop. So we say while and inside brackets, this is the condition. So as long as this condition is true, statements we have inside these curly brackets will keep running. For an example, if I set this condition to true and if I run this, now this will run infinitely, because as long as this condition is true, we get this running, and if this is always true, it keeps running. So stop this, I will click here, terminate, and it will stop. Okay. So in a while loop condition, we use a variable to declare the condition. Let's say the name of I. But hang on. If we are using a variable, we must declare it first. So here, I'm going to declare an int variable I and set the initial value to 1. Then here, I will say while I less than or equal to 5, do this statement. Now what will happen is, variable I has an initial value of 1, and in this condition, we check if the number is under 5. And as long as that is true, we need this to be running. And inside of this, while this is running, I want to increment the value of 5. Now if I run this, it will run welcome for 5 times. So what will happen is, we have initial value for I is 1, and then we have the condition while I is less than or equal to 5. So when it is executed first time, it will increment the value of I by 1. So the new value is 2. Then go for this condition and check again, and it is under 5. Now the value of I is 2, so it is under 5. So it will run again. Then it will increment again. So it will become 3, and it is still true, so it will run. So like that, it will keep running for 5 times. After this becomes 6, this condition is become false, and then this will stop being executed. Now we can do the same with the do while loop. In do while, we say to do this and then check for condition which is I less or equal to 5. So in the do while loop, we do the same thing. We have the initializing part, and we do this is the execution part, and we have the condition. And if I run this, it will give the same output. But for a moment, if I change this to I less than 0, And if I run this, it will print welcome one time. Now even this condition is false, it will run one time. That's because we check this condition later and we execute this first. So with do while loop, it will execute at least once. Even the condition is false, this loop will be executed once. Now this post I got from Facebook explain this better. So in here, the bird is checking for the edge while running, and the coyote first run and then check for the edge. So this is like while loop and this is like do while loop. Okay, now let's take back while loop again. Now in while loop we had the initializing value and then the condition and increment. And if I take this initializing part to here, okay, so we have the initializing part and then the condition, and if I take this increment into here too and here a semicolon, now we have all these things we put in while condition in one line. We can do this too by changing this to for. We do the same operation in one line. This is called a for loop. It's the same as the while loop, only difference is we check this everything in one line. Then we execute this statement. So first we are initializing a value, a semicolon, and then we are checking for the condition, another semicolon, and then we have the incrementing or decrementing value. It also can be decrementing. So we can do this iteration. We can print this welcome string for 5 times with using for loop. And if I run this, okay, this condition is to 5 actually. Okay, the condition is 5, and if I run this now, it will print welcome string for 5 times. If you are confused with what loop to use at a time, I strongly suggest to go for loop if you know the ending condition means this. And if you don't, it will be better to use while. For an example, taking input from a user for a number of times is better with while loop because you don't know the ended condition. So when to use do while loop is when you need to run the loop at least for once. It's good to use do while. Okay, there's one more loop in Java which is for each. But to use that, first we need to know about arrays in Java. So we haven't done arrays yet. So I will do for each loop after the arrays in Java. So that is about loops in Java. Okay, so that is all we are going to talk about in this video. So thank you for watching the video and please consider subscribing us and see you soon with our next video.